mainstream media's portrayal of Christians has been a subject of controversy for years, with many accusing them of spreading falsehoods and misrepresenting the values and beliefs of Christians. This phenomenon is not limited to a specific region or country, but rather it is a global issue that has sparked debates and discussions among scholars, journalists, and the general public. There are several reasons why the mainstream media lies about Christians, and it is essential to explore these reasons to understand the underlying motives and biases. One of the primary reasons for the mainstream media's distorted representation of Christians is the widespread misconception that Christianity is a monolithic entity. Many journalists and media outlets fail to recognize the diversity within Christianity, lumping all Christians into a single category. This oversimplification leads to inaccurate reporting, as different Christian denominations and sects hold varying beliefs and values. For instance, the media often portrays all Christians as conservative and opposed to social justice, when in fact, many Christian denominations, such as the progressive Christian movement, are actively engaged in promoting social justice and human rights. Another reason for the mainstream media's lies about Christians is the prevalence of secularism and anti-Christian bias in the media industry. Many journalists and media outlets have a secular worldview, which often leads them to view Christianity with skepticism and hostility. This bias is reflected in the way they report on Christian-related news, often emphasizing negative stories and downplaying positive ones. For example, the media tends to focus on controversies surrounding Christian leaders or organizations, while ignoring the numerous charitable and humanitarian works carried out by Christians around the world. The mainstream media's lies about Christians are also driven by a desire to shape public opinion and influence cultural narratives. By portraying Christians in a negative light, the media can promote a secular and progressive agenda, which is often at odds with traditional Christian values. This is particularly evident in media's coverage of issues like abortion, same-sex marriage, and LGBTQ+ rights, where Christians are often depicted as intolerant and bigoted. However, this depiction is far from accurate, as many Christians are actively engaged in promoting love, acceptance, and compassion towards all individuals, regardless of their background or identity. Furthermore, the mainstream media's lies about Christians are often fueled by a lack of understanding and familiarity with Christian theology and practice. Many journalists and media outlets rely on stereotypes and caricatures of Christians, rather than taking the time to learn about the complexities and nuances of Christian faith. This lack of understanding leads to inaccurate reporting and misrepresentation of Christian beliefs and values. For instance, the media often portrays Christians as being opposed to science and reason, when in fact, many Christians are actively engaged in scientific research and philosophical inquiry. In addition to these factors, the mainstream media's lies about Christians are also driven by a desire to attack viewers and readers. Sensationalized stories about Christians, particularly those that involve controversy or scandal, tend to generate more attention and publicity than positive stories about Christian charitable works or community service. This is because the media often prioritizes ratings and clicks over accuracy and fairness, leading to distorted representation of Christians and their values. In conclusion, the mainstream media's lies about Christians are a complex issue, driven by a range of factors, including misconceptions about Christianity, secularism and anti-Christian bias, a desire to shape public opinion, a lack of understanding and familiarity with Christian theology and practice, and a desire to attract viewers and readers. It is essential to recognize these biases and to promote more accurate and nuanced reporting on Christian-related news. By doing so, we can work towards a more informed and compassionate public discourse, one that reflects the diversity and complexity of Christian faith and practice. Ultimately, it is only by promoting greater understanding and empathy that we can overcome the mainstream media's lies about Christians and foster a more just and inclusive society for all.